Watch out, this podcast may contain adult content. We're brought to you today by Altered Reality Entertainment, the creators of Empire State Comic-Con. Check it out at escomiccon.com. And now, on to the show. Hello and welcome to On the Case with Casey and Eli. This is a Game of Thrones investigative podcast where we are talking about all the living, breathing characters ahead of the final season. Casey, who are we talking about today?
Talking about the less folks from Essos.
The less folk. The leftovers.
We got Jaqen H'ghar, Daario Naharis, and Tycho Nestoris of the Ironbreaker of Braavos.
This is the first time we've done this. We're doing like a collection of characters who we don't really know or think are going to come back in the show, but they're still living and breathing.
They were a big deal for like a hot minute, and now they're just kind of like leftovers.
Yeah.
They might come back, they might not.
We could see them in a scene again or doing something, but they don't really super factor into the end game.
No.
If we were putting their odds at being in the show again, we'd put them pretty low, right?
Less than 10%.
All right, so then let's go ahead and let's do all the... Do you want to do one character, do all the stuff for them, or do you want to do each category for all the characters?
Let's just do like rapid fire,
Gotcha.
But for all of them.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
for
their
all
own
of
thing.
them.
We'll start
Gotcha.
with Jaqen, since he is the most important.
All right, last scene, Jaqen.
Let Arya go from the House of Black and White.
So did he die or did he not die there? Because it's very unclear. It's very unclear. Did he take the poison to like let her live? Because remember, there's like the she's like pulling the faces off the body a bunch of times. So was that actually Jaqen or was the?
Oh, that was way before, dude.
Yeah, I know, but it's just very confusing.
Okay, so
I know.
That was magic.
I would say he's alive. But
I think that was a trick, and I think he's like he did like a Dread Pirate Roberts where like the poison doesn't affect him like that.
Yeah.
Because she's pulling all the faces off.
Yeah.
That's just Jaqen being Jaqen, and that's before she goes blind and stuff.
Yeah, but like in my head, like I kind of wonder, have we ever seen Jaqen again? Like
yeah, maybe Jaqen.
Because like the guy who they
Jaqen.
left like at the shores of Westeros.
Yeah.
Versus the people that she interacted with at the face of at the House of the Undying.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of those people were ever Jaqen.
Dude, well, here's the thing, too, is, like, I've always thought about it this way. They call them the Faceless Men, but the only one we ever meet is Jaqen, besides the Waif and Arya, who are, like,
women
trying to become them.
Yeah.
So maybe the Faceless Men is one fucking guy. Like, what if it's one guy? What if he's not even a guy? What if he's, like, magical for a reason? Maybe he is, like, the stranger. Like, what if he is, like, the god of death or whatever, incarnate? And he wears all these faces, and he's the only one that can really do it. The way he does it, at least. Arya learns how to, like, steal a face here and there and put him on or whatever, but not quite the same. His powers are not equaled by anyone else. But the last we see him is after she kills the waif, she goes basically back there and, like, threatens to kill him, basically, because she doesn't want anyone chasing her anymore. And she gives the waif's face to the Hall of Faces so that the god is not denied a death, just a different death.
Yeah.
And basically says, are we good? Because I'm Arya again, motherfucker. And she's like, yeah, we good. You go ahead. And then she goes back to Westeros.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, so that was the thing that I was just basically saying, like, was that guy Jaqen? Have we seen Jaqen? Like, so for me, that's just a little confusing.
It's hard because a lot of people think Jaqen is Ciro Farrell.
Yeah.
A lot of people think Jaqen could be a lot of other people in the story. But, yeah. I have recently heard a theory that Jaqen was, like, everyone from Braavos, including Littlefinger, and that Littlefinger faked his death. I mean, if you want to go down some rabbit holes,
wow.
The Faceless Men and their magic give you a certain type of freedom when coming up with anything you want. But as far as I know, it's one guy that might not be his original face. His name might not actually be Jaqen, but as far as I know, that's where he's at. He's still in the House of Black and White.
So let's talk about what we believe is Jaqen H'ghar's top moments. So a man we may or may not name Jaqen H'ghar.
Yeah, I think for me, Jaqen H'ghar's best moment is the first time he changes his face.
Okay.
Because it introduces a new level of magic and shows us a little bit more about what he can do. It's that whole them walking out, seeing the guards, and they're like, "Can we even walk out?" And then they realize, oh, these guards are like literally like have sticks like in them, and they're like not really.
That Harrenhal moment.
Yeah, the escape to Harrenhal, and then when he gives her the token and says, like, if you ever want to
yeah, and then he changes, he, like, turns in the camera. And, you know, we haven't done this too much, but that's a really cool effect in the show.
It is.
Like, we haven't talked about, like, some of the, like, special effects too much yet, but, like, I really...
Top notch.
Yeah, when that happened, it was just, like, you're just like, what?
And I think that's what I love about the show so much is it's kind of like... They take a little bit of a note from Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is like this magical world that at the end it becomes the Age of Men, and magic is sort of fading away from the world. The elves are leaving, stuff like that. And in this, it's like that world had magic that's become myth, and now it's back. And it comes back in stages. You start to see the White Walkers, you see the dragons,
the comet.
Yeah, the comet like brings in. Then you see the
House of the Undying guys.
All those guys.
Yeah,
and then this is another level of that. And it's just kind of amazing because as you keep peeling back these layers, you're like, wow, there's a lot of things in this world that are just amazing. And it's like he took the best parts of all fantasy lore and folded it into one world for us to enjoy.
Are you again ready for the surprise segment that's never on the list but almost happens randomly?
Okay.
Random awards.
Oh.
He gets the award for best, like, accent. I really like the way Jaqen talks.
Yeah, it is like the cadence
it's just,
to it.
Yeah, it's super unique.
A man, a girl.
Yeah, and it's like unhinged from like regular rhythm of conversation. I love it. Yeah, you're right. The pace is really good.
And it is sort of like a bastard version of the way Ciro Farrell talks too, because they both have like this verbosity thing. Yeah, and it's it is interesting. He just changes it a bit the way he refers to people and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, he's got a great voice and his face and everything.
I love it all.
I'd say my award for Jaqen goes for best highlights in the show.
Oh yeah,
he's the only one. How the fuck does he have red hair with like highlights?
Dario can't get no
purple
blue
beard.
blue haired purple beard.
Yeah.
All right, worst moment for Jaqen?
You know, in season 5, I'm just not super in love with her storyline with the training. Like, you just think it'd be better than like washing dead bodies.
Yeah.
And getting whipped when she can't tell a lie, but like...
Okay, so House of the Undying having more of a prestige program for their farm system, like being really...
Yeah, I think it's like he's like a teacher in college, a professor that like doesn't want to teach anymore, so he lets his TA do everything.
Yeah.
So like it's like the waif's teaching her the game of faces, not really him. So I think every time he walks away and I'm like, oh fuck, it's just her and this bitch again. Like,
this is whack. Yeah, I got you. You know what the worst moment is?
What?
Getting owned by Arya when she names him. Yeah, that's a
I love
like
that.
that's a great moment for us as an audience, but for him,
he looks at her like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
God damn.
We haven't really dealt too much with episodes where like someone's win is someone's direct loss yet. But that's a Arya like best moment.
Oh definitely. And I think it's funny too because he's so like badass and like never scared of anything, and in that moment he literally goes, unname me, and she's like, no, and he's like, please. It's like he breaks character like a little bit. It's like, please. This sucks. Yeah. That's... Beaten by his own game.
All right, happy ending for Jaqen?
I guess just going on and continuing his work and not getting fucked with, I guess. Maybe finding another pupil that he can have someone take over eventually so he can retire or something. It's hard to say since you don't really know who he is.
So the actual happy ending for Jaqen is that the Mad Queen Cersei wins the throne.
Okay.
And she outlaws faces as she gets older. And no one's allowed to have a face anymore. So like she cuts off the discerning features. Everyone's blind. No one's got the tips of their noses. Their mouths are shut.
Wow.
Yeah. So it becomes the faceless planet.
Okay. So he just gets all the faces. He's just like...
Yeah, he's just a real happy... He has like a gaggle of faces. It's like...
I like how I'll say something and then you say the actual thing is like you're the authority, and then you say some cartoony ass bullshit like that.
It's always nonsense.
Could never make sense.
Yeah, his happiest ending is that he just has like Scrooge McDuck level of faces that he can springboard into and swim in.
That sounds disgusting, and I don't want to think about it anymore. Worst ending.
Sad ending.
I guess the sad ending would be if somehow like his true identity was revealed and the House of the Black and White was like completely like gone, like there were no faceless men, and he was like the reason that like their order came to an end or something like that.
Yeah.
Be kind of cool.
I think a sad ending would be that like Arya continues her like Kill Bill campaign, and she goes and murders all the faceless men. Like she comes back and she kills all the
Yeah, like so she could be the only one, like
yeah,
Highlander.
Yeah, the only one that can do the face thing. Yeah, that would
what
be
if
interesting.
what if like at the end, you know, we were just talking about this like in Lord of the Rings, like the magic ends and the world goes back to the Dominion of Men. That could very well happen in this world too, because the red comet, the night swelling in the north, the winter coming, and the dragons being born is all kind of like one magical event that breathes life back in. Also, Bran discovering his powers.
Yeah,
all happens around
the
the
fuel.
same time.
It's the fuel. Yeah.
So, an event, a sort of cataclysmic event of magic versus magic, could once again undo them. Like the battle of the dragons before, the Dance of Dragons.
Yeah, deplete the stores of magic.
So if that happened, maybe the magic that fuels their skin changing would go away, and so no more faceless men. Yeah. That'd be pretty rough, but it'd be kind of cool.
I think another happy ending for him would be Arya just comes back to the House of Face and she's like, "Yo, teach me more,"
or becomes the new Jaqen.
Yeah,
becomes his predecessor.
His
successor.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
The Harry Potter to his Dumbledore.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
There you go.
That'd be fun. Okay. Will he live or will he die?
I think he'll live.
Okay. Same.
He's too hard to kill.
Right. Any other theories for that guy?
No.
He's not Azor Ahai.
He's definitely not Azor Ahai.
I was trying to make it rhyme.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be kind of cool if Melisandre brings him back with her when she goes... But she's going to Volantis.
Yeah, so I think that's the thing that we have to add to these characters that are kind of less likely to show back up.
Yeah.
Do you think that we ever see that actor again on screen?
I don't.
Okay, because
I think that they put a cap on it, and I think the reason they put a cap on it is because the House of...
we got the thing that we needed from that. Like, Arya gained the skill set. She gained the power up. She leveled up, and now
she dismissed being nobody to be her again. We got what we needed there, and it was a little underwhelming at times.
Yeah. All right. So then now Tycho.
Let's
start with Tycho. Yeah. Last scene
with Cersei
chatting.
Yeah, discussing,
getting reimbursed,
telling her to be careful about Euron because he's only going to be faithful for now until while it's good for him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think. He's the only character on this list with Jaqen and Daario that I think we will see again.
I agree.
Because the Iron Bank will have its due, and I think because basically with the money that Cersei got to pay him off from the Tyrells, it just paid them up.
Yeah,
so they're even.
Yeah. Even. And
this new army loan they're getting, it's a new loan. Yeah, so she's going into debt again, and I feel like that won't just be swept under the rug. Granted, we only have 6 episodes. There are bigger things than money happening here. I still feel like you don't build up the Iron Bravos bank to get to pay their due or whatever, and be such a ominous thing in the background that even Tywin Lannister is scared of. Yeah, there's got to be some sort of repercussions.
I'm gonna say that I'm kind of the opposite of you. I think that we will see him again, but I just think it'll be in a very quick the Gold Company with Euron is leaving Bravos, and then he's like, quip, 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 thing from Sherlock, quip, 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 Mycroft stuff. And I think that that'll just be it, and then that's his swan song for the show. Just for them to be like, oh yeah, they are in Bravos, and to just show another part of the map again, and to have the Game of Thrones map actually have places, because that's going to be the interesting thing. I think we haven't talked about this yet either.
Yeah.
Next season, the map we have this iconic intro that no other show has had, because they show the locations you're going to travel to, and they've kind of dwindled that down, as the show's kind of got more.
Too,
it does. Oh, it definitely does.
Yeah.
But now that that's gotten more narrow, is it just going to be show Winterfell and then King's Landing and nowhere else?
I don't know.
Because how does the theme song have to? The theme song has to keep playing.
Yeah, I think you have to just see other places, but maybe just in bits and pieces. Maybe we'll see
but that's what I was saying, Bravos. That's why they'll see Bravos, or that's we'll see Bravos on the map again, and that's why they'll go back there.
And Dragonstone.
Yeah, they'll show them setting out, because you mentioned this in our Euron episode, but we kind of both think that probably Theon will meet up with Euron
at some point.
Yeah, and then probably get the Iron Fleet at some point. So if they show Euron leaving to start his season 8 first episode is Euron leaving Bravos. He talked to Tycho. He got the Gold Company, and they introduced us to whatever badass Gold Company dudes they're going to be yoked guys. Aha, we're the Gold Company guys.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That's
there better be a really cool leader,
yeah.
A good actor.
Yeah, and I can't see the show addressing the wrap up of Cersei's stuff with the Gold Company. I just don't see it, because I think she's going to die before then.
Yeah, no, it's all going to burn up under her feet. I think maybe it'd be kind of funny if Tycho did show up at the very end when Jon and Daenerys are there and Cersei's dead and the keep has giant holes in it from Dragonfire or whatever,
like,
and it's snowing in there, and he's like, wow, shit's really fucked up here. And then Jon could maybe like make him aware that he's backed now 2 kings that were a false, like, because he tried to help Stannis. Stannis didn't work out. So yeah,
that pivots into worst moments back in Stannis, right?
Yeah, I mean it was one of Davos's best moments and one of their worst and best.
Yeah, that was a poor play.
Yeah, I mean, look, Stannis is a great war strategist. It's just he doesn't know people. And he made some crucial mistakes.
Isn't it weird that we can say that his worst move was to back Stannis, but his best move was to back Cersei?
Yeah, I mean, it worked.
Yeah,
he got his money back.
Yeah, he waited, he believed. Yeah, his best moment is just being patient.
Yeah, that's when you have all the money and no cards to play in the war, patience is the only thing you can do.
Yeah, so like his best moments are all tied up in waiting, but like some of his worst moments we don't get to see on screen because like Cersei destabilizing the slavery market in Essos. Like that's
Daenerys,
Daenerys destabilizing that. That's a worst moment for him.
Definitely.
But then, like, a best moment is when she leaves and decides to go to Westeros, right?
Yeah, for sure. He's got to be happy about that. Yeah, it's amazing because if you think about it, if the Iron Bank of Braavos was bleeding money because of this lack of slavery in Slaver's Bay, wouldn't one assume they would hire a faceless man to go kill Daenerys? To stop this anti-slavery movement, that would make the most sense for their economic reasons.
Yeah, have him faceless, be unsullied, be in the throne room,
that'd be easy.
Wear Grey Worm's face,
stab her right in the heart. She's definitely vulnerable. I mean, as long as they don't try and like put her in a way too hot bath, because she would survive that.
Yeah. Haha, death by hot bath.
She's like, motherfucker, do you know me?
Do you even know? Don't you know who I am?
You about to learn today.
You gonna learn today. Yeah, okay. This dude's gonna live, right?
Yeah, he's not really threatened by anything.
Yeah,
you don't want to kill someone like that for no reason.
Yeah. They gotta show that money is forever and banks always get their money.
Yeah.
And it's...
Yeah. If Tywin Lannister is feared for being who he is, these motherfuckers are like him times 1,000.
Yeah.
So
Tycho's coming after you for your student loans for always and forever.
He doesn't need a song like Reigns of Castamere. You just know the Iron Bank will have its due.
Yeah,
so.
they're gonna have it.
Yeah.
All right. Last, Dario.
Dario.
We last saw him getting shooed away.
Yeah. He was kind of left in charge, which is kind of cool of Marine.
I mean, is it?
But, he didn't have, like, really an army either. She took the armies with her. It's just, like, I think he kept the second sons with him, like, whatever was left of them, and to basically police Marine as they formulated some sort of diplomatic...
How do we think that's going? It can't be going well, can it?
Well, I don't know, because when they give you time in the show for her to dethrone the Masters, have them basically go back into power, and then they all gang up against her, and then she just roasts them with her dragons, and it's amazing in the Battle of the Bastards episode at the beginning. But chopping the head off, it doesn't always make the snake stop moving. You know?
And then so she killed a lot more of them in Astapor and Yunkai than she did in Marine specifically. But she has all this big talk about breaking the wheel. Mm-hmm. But someone does need to build back the wheel and also drive the ship somewhere, and leaving Dario in charge that never seemed like something he would have wanted. No. So I just can't imagine that Dario's having a fun time having to deal with that. And you would think that the slavers would be able to retake everything pretty quickly without her threat there, right?
I feel like you basically get the feeling that there are no slavers now. He because Grey Worm slits the throat of the two dudes and leaves one that was that was the only one that wasn't highborn. Because it's the only one he kind of trusted. Yeah. And then, they burn the ships of everyone else. So it's she basically killed all the Masters, then the real Masters showed up, and then she killed them too. So it's I don't really think there are any. But the problem is, if you know anything about Slaver's Bay, it didn't become Slaver's Bay just because slavery's so awesome. It became Slaver's Bay because back in the ancient days, there were these horrible wars between all these factions. I think even before Valyrians took over everything, and they basically, as their armies were retracting across that area, to make sure the armies that were following them would starve, they salted the earth. They put salt all over the earth and basically made it to where you could not grow anything there. So if you can't grow anything there, you can't really. There's nothing for you to produce, to trade, to have wealth or whatever. So that's why they started bringing people from the Summer Isles, and they started the slave trade. They said, well, if we can't grow anything, we will trade slaves, and that will be our main source of income.
We'll trade labor. Yeah,
labor, sex slaves, and warriors with like the Unsullied. So
and the fighting pits became a thing.
Yeah, so that's great. You chop off the head and you make sure that all the slavers are gone and the slaves are free, and now you call it the Bay of Dragons instead of Slavers Bay, but you still don't have anything you can fucking grow there. So yeah, I honestly. Logic would point me in the direction of saying that it will not last. As beautiful, as good of a try as she gave it, I don't think it's going to last. Yeah. And so, Dario's just stuck there.
And Dario's just having to deal with it. Yeah, that's why I brought that up, because like I feel like his top moments, of course, are going to be like not even tied to things that he said. Like so, like Khaleesi just being like, "Take off your clothes."
Yeah.
And
also, the band, Khaleesi's pretty dope.
Another top moment for him is being recast. I gotta say, he went from being a horse-faced man to being real hot.
Yeah, I think his best moment to me would be when he kills the champion outside Marine.
Oh, yeah. He pulls out his dong and he just pees on the ground.
So awesome. Yeah, I just rewatched that episode and I love it. I mean, also, they take Yunkai, he gives her the banner, and... when he betrays the second,
that's so funny.
When he betrays the second sons and gives her the heads of the other generals, including that guy who's a real dick.
Kind of low key, but like when he brings her the flowers and he's talking to her about like, hey, you need to know the flowers, like to know the people. But then also he's hitting on her, so it's like yo, I'm intellectual and I can teach you something about you need to know. But then also,
because she shits on him at first. She's like, you're gonna bring me flowers, really, motherfucker? Yeah. He's like, well, hold on.
Yeah.
I got some queenly wisdom to give you real quick, help you be a better queen. I don't know. I do like the character, and I think he's had some great moments.
I'm a big fan of Dario. Another win for him when Jorah gets to see him leaving in the morning. The awkward walk of shame.
He's like, more like walk
of honor. Yeah, walk of honor.
He's like, I just did that.
Yeah. What up, Jorah?
Yeah, poor Jorah.
Telling Jorah he couldn't ride the dragon.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Always a queen's guard.
Never the dragon rider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Happiest ending for Dario?
I think the happiest ending would be if Daenerys takes back the Seven Kingdoms, Jon dies, and she brings him back over to be her maybe she's
in her later years, in her twilight years, she's just like, you know what, I just need to.
She's not gonna remarry or whatever, have kids, but like she wouldn't mind having her boy toy back in her bed, keeping her warm.
I was gonna say I think his happiest ending is an honorable death, like in combat, like getting to be someone's champion or something like that. I think that he would like. Love to. I think that that's the kind of way he wants to go out. He was born and bred in that, and I think that him dying, like not necessarily in the fighting pits, but like maybe in a trial by combat for someone. Yeah,
it'd be kind of a cool twist. Actually, is if you think about it this way: imagine they go over to get the Golden Company. Somehow Theon takes over by killing Euron, and they follow him now. So the Golden Company are now the good guys. They're going to come fight in the north and help them defeat the Night King and everything. They're not fighting for Cersei. Who do we know that's over there that might be kind of a lost soul who's also fought for Celso or coming before? Imagine somehow during this fight, all we know is that the Golden Company are there. They're fighting. All this chaos is happening. At one point, maybe dragon on dragon action is happening, and Daenerys falls, and she's about to get killed, and someone saves her, pulls down their mask because it's cold. They're all wearing like masks, and it's Dario, dude. And he like switched sides. He's like, I couldn't just be a polilisman. I left. I wanted to go do what I do. I fight for money. And he could show up like that.
Yeah, that'd be a dope moment.
Yeah.
So you and I have talked about this, and I really feel for me to be satisfied with the Game of Thrones ending, there's so many different people that could end up on the throne, but I do think in my heart that that Daenerys is not going to stay in Westeros, and she's going to go back to Essos and finish what she started.
Maybe.
Like, that's in my heart of hearts what I actually think is going to happen. So I think the happiest ending for Dario is that, Daenerys comes back, and he gets to be one of her seven, and he gets to defend her. Yeah. So and I think Daenerys brings Jon with her, and Jon leaves the war behind, and he's like, yo, I did that life. I'm just going to be your hot husband.
Go somewhere where it's warm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Always where it's cold.
What a nice, beautiful life for him. But cool. I think, Dario could deal with Jon stooping it to her or whatever. But, like, I think Dario getting to be one of her seven or, like I said, like being her champion or being...
Maybe.
Yeah, fighting...
He does say, though, when he's introduced that he fights for beauty and love.
Mm-hmm.
So if he doesn't have anyone to fight for, he's going to be a lost soul. Maybe he remarries or something. And for anyone who thinks that I'm retarded for the whole, like, what if he shows up and, like, saves her in the midst of this giant White Walker battle, I'll say one word to you, Benjen.
Yeah.
So it's not that far-fetched. It's kind of already happened in a different context of the story, with Benjen showing up to save John.
We just think you want the fan service. It's okay. We want it too.
I like having a nice cap on the end of everything.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'll get it, but, you know, a guy can dream.
You can dream. Yeah. We can all dream.
A dream of spring.
And then I guess we don't really know if he's going to live or die, right? Because we both think we won't see him again, right?
I don't think we'll see him again. If we see him again, he's probably going to die.
He's good, yeah. And then if he's living for now, and he's going to live until he dies in some kind of combat or fight.
He's hard to fucking kill, I'll tell you that. And the best thing he could do is become, like, King of Marine or whatever, like, as voted by them.
Yeah.
And then take some beautiful queen that he loves and get over Daenerys, you know?
Yeah.
She's just not that into you, Dario. She's more into the Seven Kingdoms.
And that brings us to the end of this episode of On the Case with Casey and Eli. Thank you, as always, for listening to this amazing podcast. We hope you think it's amazing. We're brought to you by Altered Reality Entertainment. They are the creators of Empire State Comic-Con. Check it out at escomiccon.com. Celebrities, artists, vendors, cosplay, and more. It's going to be tons of fun. Who are we going to talk about next time, Casey?
I believe next time, let's see, I think we've got Mr. Beric Dondarrion.
Oh, yeah.
I'm into
it. I'm into it. Well, thanks for listening, guys. Guten Tag.
See you guys next time.
Is that good? Is Guten Tag goodbye? Or is it
I have
hello?
no idea.
I think Guten Tag's hello.
I speak a little Valyrian, but...
Okay, well...
That's about it.
Should we...
It's Jevis.
We should start the podcast with a Valar Morghulis and then end it with a Valar Harris. Yeah, we should.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, well, now.
Maybe.
Okay, bye.
Later.